We all got a deal today.
Thembodies as well.
Them biddies included.
Marriage.
Friends, foes, and everyone in between.
You figure out where you lay.
Yeah, it's a spectrum.
Foes get to meet.
We when last we left, previously on Refresh, the vivisection of Ratman Jim went about as gruesomely as one would expect. We were able to find several sources of the fibers that had been slowly spreading from this still functioning corpse. The head has been severed and placed in a lockbox that Brun has secured in his bag. The heart and lungs appear to be suffering a similar sort of corruption more visibly. Those have been placed in a jar along with several other samples that Duncan is carrying. And we also found lodged just at like the bottom of the esophagus a metal magical shard of some kind that looked to have been the body had kind of grown around it. But that appeared to be the primary source of where these fibers are coming from. So that has been removed and left there. We met up with Farney, had a couple of farewell conversations. I have underlined in all caps with several exclamation points, we finally left. We are outside the city. We are outside the city
Much to our
walls.
chagrin.
Despite our best efforts, we were somehow forced out by an unseen hand. After throwing down with some feral dogs that appeared to be slightly more hostile than usual. The gardens and all the plant life in town is growing much more than anticipated. It is bordering Amazonian levels of like heavy growth and trapping that humidity. It is swampy in this here town. And it was on one of these walks. Yeah, we're under a heat dome there as well. Having left town, we had our first traveling encounters and just figuring out what we can and can't do, and figuring out how travel works. Keeping up a somewhat, not necessarily a stealthy pace. We're trying to just chew through the miles and get to Kahlo as quickly as we can, without drawing undue attention by being a pack of individuals on the road. We got to night shift. We got to our first session of the watch, where two of us dropped the ball.
I wonder which two.
Farney, I know Brun didn't wake up, and I believe Farney did not. Farney and Brun slept through their shifts. Navos and Thane were first and had a bit of a chat. And then Duncan was first awake, as his right. Saw that Brun and Farney were zonked out. Didn't give him too much grief about it yet, but then made plenty of clatter getting everything ready, and everyone's sort of waking up for our second day of travel. Remind me, oh kind benevolent GM, how long is this hike on foot?
So it was estimated by Farney that this should take you about 4 days because you're carrying cargo.
Yes. Yes. And a couple bad dreams all around. Just like getting for the first time out of the city and getting accustomed to hiking along the wilderness and finding we found a little cave to set up our camp in so nobody bothered us. And it appears nobody bothered us despite our lapse in security. But we got 3 more days of hiking ahead of us before we get to Kahlo.
Anything anyone would like to add?
Nothing I can think of.
Nope, I covered what I had.
Okay. Yeah, there was a little bit of chit-chat in the evening times, a little bit of training for Navos with Brun, Farney and Duncan had gone out to do some foraging. Y'all kind of settled in a little bit, got camp going, and because of all of that, y'all have gotten your long rest. So if you haven't already, please roll hit dice. If we're good there, as you're breaking camp, who would like to choose which role for the day's travel?
Um,
Do we need a reminder of what those things are?
Scout, Task, Navigator, and Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Farney's going to be the Navigator. That's what he wants. I think I'm going to take Scout today. If anybody else wants to object.
No objections here.
Okay, I'm
that's
feeling a little,
fine.
feeling a little bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning. You know, two of my other team members kind of are slacking a little bit, so I feel like I gotta step up and you know, make sure that something at least goes according to plan. And I think scouting is right now the most important because we got a pretty good navigator.
Okay. Navos, what are you up to today as you're traveling?
Yep. I think I'd like to go for the specialty case. If I noticed that Duncan was scavenging, if I could look for some more of those base materials as we're moving along.
Okay. And what's Brun up to?
Brun's gonna fall back to his default and just be on guard. Keeping
Okay,
an eye out for unscrupulous types.
Thane will continue guarding as well. By the way, Curtis, for such a lovely recap, how's your inspo looking?
I am
How's the
out of
board?
inspiration. I currently
one.
have no inspiration.
Top
Can
that
I
off.
can I make a request and get my point in strength back?
I was gonna say, doesn't his strength still?
my strength is still down by 1. I would love that back.
I don't know.
That's a
Yeah,
big
I'll allow
ask.
it. I'll allow it. I am so kind and gracious.
You
this
are
day.
indeed so kind and gracious. Now I need to figure out. Oh, there's that other.
It's only because I'm
modifier.
still mad at Andrew for missing things.
Yeah. What does he lose?
Still haven't figured that out.
He was so
Alright.
close. Talked to him yesterday, and Evan's doing well, but he didn't want to take the
I'm
risk.
doing great, thanks.
I'm so happy
really
for
good
you.
for being born recently.
I just think it's funny that the timeline lines up. The first game that I had with Andrew was right around the time that his wife would be pregnant or getting pregnant.
Yeah, I
And then
remember
like
the
he's doing
entire
it on
time
purpose.
I was in contact with Andrew. You know,
Evan,
asking about the book and things.
I'm concerned about your impact as an aphrodisiac. I have many questions.
Those are questions for later because we have travel time right now. So as you're kind of breaking camp, and for the record, if y'all have like scenes and things that you want to do throughout the day, please feel free to kind of start going with that. But I have a thing to do first. As you're kind of breaking camp for the day, Duncan, you had noticed it when you woke Thane up. They are currently in the guise of a feminine figure, kind of a feminine version of their typical guard-looking face. And they're kind of robotic, a little bit stiff with their movements this morning. You're not entirely sure what's up with that. They chat a little bit with all of you, very base level conversation. And as you are getting ready to head out, chatting with Farney and all that, Brun, you hear a voice in your head. A very familiar voice, kind of growly, snarly type voice. Vox has disappointed me greatly. Bring them to me alive. Unless he's already run and disappeared. Get to a contact so we may speak properly. This is the voice of your boss, and you realize the conversation you had the previous day, the voice was a little off. In your emotional state during that conversation, it didn't really ring any alarm bells. But after a fresh rest and a little bit of time, you realize that that was not... You were not speaking to who you initially thought you were. This voice is dripping with venom and hardly contained rage. And it promises that as soon as Vox is brought forth as demanded, Vox will be suffering for at least an eternity. If you would like, you can respond if you would like, but there is no indication in this message, this sending rather, that a response is currently necessary.
There's just an audible swallow for anyone who's within earshot. Bro, just kind of like, and just kind of like reaches up and rubs the shoulder that Duncan saw like Brun reach for. Kind of rubs the shoulder to turn on the sending stone, and just, yes, sir. Only thing that goes back. Just a, like, heard, understood, acknowledged. I'm on it.
So, the message that came through did not come through the sending stone.
Did not come through the stone. Ooh. Uh-oh.
This was a direct cast.
Oh, no.
sending.
This was a direct call. This was not collect.
It was that little red phone right in the head.
Oh. So Brun, like, reaches for the stone, like, reaches up, and then just goes... Shit. And then, like,
Thane behind you. Is everything all right, Brun?
Just slipped.
Oh, did you forget your toothbrush? I packed extras. And I'll kind of reach into my bag looking for my extra toothbrush.
I know. No, just slipped on my, just slipped on it funny. I'm gonna have to work that out through the rest of the day. That's gonna take a while to deal with.
Did you still want that toothbrush? Did you pack one? Did you pack a toothbrush?
No.
Oral hygiene is very important, Brun.
It is very important.
There's plenty of bark, and there's enough mint growing here. I can make up it.
But what about your bite?
Are you though?
I will be.
That silence speaks volumes, and I'll kind of close my bag.
But yeah,
I think we're getting
like,
ready for the day.
We'll just like kind of start rubbing his head a little, just like, oh God. And then send out yes, sir, I'm on it.
Thanks.
And-
But you can just call me Duncan. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. So let's just get going before I put my foot in my mouth.
And with that, could I get everybody's rolls for the day, please?
Perfect. Sure. Oh, I got 19. What's my skill that I'm using? Survival, nature?
You are on scout duty.
Mhm.
So investigation or perception.
Okay. I'm gonna do perception because that's a +4. So that's a 23 for me.
Okay.
What would you like for the specialty?
For foraging, I generally would say survival.
Okay.
Or if you wanted to do like a knowledge nature type dealy.
Yeah, if we could do nature, that'll be a 13.
Okay.
Can I do intimidation? Can Brun just be big and scary at the back of the line?
Deception.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
That is a 12.
Okay. Can I get a roll for Farney, please?
I'll roll him with my little frog dice.
Yeah, I feel like Brun is just like walking like a angry storm cloud. He's pissed off at everybody.
I rolled a 16 for Farney. Plus whatever his stats
All right. Is there anything anyone would like to do throughout the day as you're traveling? Or shall I just narrate?
Yeah, Duncan is keeping his eye out. He's looking for threats. He's trying to keep his box protected. Kind of what he's looking out for.
Okay. So as you are traveling along, the forest is ever encroaching on the road. The road is poorly defined, and those of you who've traveled through here before, this is not the normal state. It's pretty in line with what you've all been experiencing. As you're keeping an eye out and foraging and all of that, Farney is very confidently kind of plowing ahead. Their strides are very confident and practiced. They could probably tell you how many steps it takes to get from Ulrith to Kahlo. Just their pace, anyway. Duncan, with your scouting, earlier in the day, as you're not super far from Ulrith just yet, you see a large, dark plume of smoke behind you in the direction of the town. And you catch the faintest whiff of burning flesh and hair. You're smart enough to realize this is probably the pyre that was ordered. Brun, you and Thane take up opposite sections of the crew here, keeping on alert for any upcoming threats. As you are traveling through, you don't really catch anything that causes alarm. Navos, you go to forage, and you spot some cows on the road. As you're kind of approaching, Thane you see their head drop in a very similar manner to the guy from earlier, from yesterday. And they awake. Good morning, Andrew.
Hello.
Hello.
There's cows in front of you.
Huh?
What are you gonna do then? Has Thane ever seen a cow from his collective?
Yeah, Thane's seen cows. You kidding me?
Okay. I don't know what Thane's seen.
What happened to my
So
How much of Thane is
I'm going
cows?
to move all of you.
So I am hoping I can be here all game. We'll see, because Evan has been really fussy. Evan he's just full of crap. He poops himself all the time. Evan is just I don't know.
Listen, I know you can only
He's really
see the up
something.
down, but this is just one big fat wet diaper.
Oh boy,
It's gonna
okay.
be so long. Evan.
Incredible. So yeah, there are cows up ahead of
Evan
you.
was late for the game. We don't know what that means.
What doing, friends?
Cows.
The cows are currently gathered around a horse on the ground. And Farney has stopped, mouth slightly agape, as the cows appear to be eating the horse.
DM question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Thane know what is going on?
Nope. You just woke up, bud.
Okay.
You've been traveling, it seems. You are not where you started.
This isn't right. This isn't. Something is wrong.
Yeah.
Where?
They
How
should be.
long? How long have we been on the road?
This
it's
is the
just- what do you
second
mean?
day.
Just started the second day.
We have no memory of this. The last thing we remember was being back at the temple. I think.
We
I don't
left
know.
Ulrich.
Yeah,
We fought
you left.
dogs.
We don't remember any of that.
Well, I think it might need to put a pause on that. What's this up here? Anybody else see these cows? I don't know if that's a little weird.
I mean, we could use some beast fat, but I'd rather not kill any more if we have to.
I think they're eating that horse.
I think they're eating that horse too.
Yeah, those teeth shouldn't do that.
I don't know if they even were made to do that. With 4 stomachs and a cow, that can hold a lot of horse.
Because Farney was very set on the road, they were very adept with their navigation check. You have options. You could divert around this. You could approach. I'll just ask that you all move into the red box on the map. And I'll give you about a minute in real time to decide if you are going to fight or divert
Nope. I'll
or
screen share
something
for-
else.
I got a lot of screaming from upstairs. I will be back.
Just talking to
God
his
dang
dog.
it, Evan. Quit screaming.
I'm quiet.
It's not that scary. They're
That's
just
the game. I
cows.
swear. I swear. I'll shut my mouth.
Brun looks to Duncan and Farney. Are we going through or going around?
And Duncan will kind of shrug his shoulders and kind of put his hand on his sword. This seems like an unnatural thing. I don't know if I'm allowed to permit it. There seems to be something wrong here.
In all of my travels, I've never seen cows do that. Navos, you said you needed animal fat. This might be a good opportunity.
It would be. I'm afraid of what this could cause, but we could try.
GM, looking around, are there any of the fibers around?
It's broad daylight right now. If there are, they're very hard to see, but generally you don't see too much. Now, if you wanted to check the cows, you'd have to get a lot closer.
Do we kill one and see if the others run?
We can try them, but it seems like they might be a little more primitive than that. We might have to take all 3 cows. And fighting a humanoid is one thing. I've never fought a bovine before.
Are there any bags or anything around the horse, or is just lone, no separate tracks?
You do see like saddlebags kind of strewn about. They've been kind of tossed to the side, it looks like.
Now, are these cows like voraciously eating this horse, or are they just like grazing like normal cows would?
They are
Just, like,
grazing on a
cow.
on a horse.
that's worse. That's so much worse.
Looking a little
Like, you're just
closer,
casually eating.
you realize like they look generally like dairy cows. Their hooves seem a little bit sharper, their horns a little bit longer and more pointed. But it's hard to make out much more detail from this distance. We'll put it to a vote. Who wants to engage? That's 2.
I will, but I'd
That's
rather
3.
just push him over.
Yeah, just cow tipping.
Okay. You can try. Go ahead and roll for me. Dim Bones. Is initiative time.
He's
Which means I
initiative.
can play one of my favorite songs.
I wonder if Navos could like even sneak up in some of these bushes here and try to just get one from behind and push it over.
I too
I
have
do
songs.
so love Rat Battle. It's so good. All right. Let's see here. Do. Fantastic. Over 20. 15 to 20.
Oh, never mind. Not over 15.
18.
All right. 10 to 15. Oh. Neva's good. Okay. 10 to 15.
14.
All right. What'd you get there, Duncan?
I got a 4.
Buddy.
Well, listen, my initiative is a +0.
Okay. And for
Mine's a
Thane.
-2. That's why I thought it was in the above 15 crowd. I rolled a 16.
No, it's
I was all excited.
Frog dice.
All right. So, Nevos, you are up first.
I need
Okay.
it last.
Evan, you're in 2 places at once and much smaller.
I've seen this before. As I was traveling, these kids were pushing these cows over. I don't agree with it, but their cuds must be full right now. They must not be feeling well. I will dash and try to hide if you'd like a roll.
Yep, that's a stealth roll.
I'm curious how like what Navos looks like when he runs. Does he like run with his claws forward?
I
Like a
think,
velociraptor?
yeah, T-Rex, I'm like bending down a bit. That's a 15.
Almost Naruto running.
It's a 15 for stealth.
Oh, yeah.
Just drag the claws
Farney
on the
is going
ground.
to, as per usual, hang back unless provoked. All right. So you just wanted to stealth for this round, then, Nevos?
Yeah, I'd use my dash for that.
Okay, that brings us to Brun.
Brun's gonna do. That's the text button. Gentle mosey up to here. Hands up. Just try not necessarily trying to draw attention, but like trying to be more obvious than our stealthy Navos here. Actually, you know what? I'm playing both ends against the middle. Brun's gonna kind of clatter up in his chainmail. And try and get a little bit of attention. Just trying to like try. Yeah, he's gonna try and get the cow's attention, just by walking up with his hands up, whistling a jaunty tune.
Yeah, it seems like the cows, they do look up at you and give kind of a low moo through mouthfuls of viscera. And they don't seem to have noticed Nevos, but they do have their eyes on you.
Perfect.
Anything else you're doing?
Can I
Staying on deck?
look for Can I look for footprints from or trail stuff gunning off of the trails for whoever's horse this was?
You know what? I'll allow that.
Okay.
Give me an insight or investigation.
Okay. Please work. Oh no, that is a natural 1 for a natural 1.
Your attention is enraptured by these cows. As you're closer now, you can see like cow 3 there. I believe that's a 3. I'm not
Yes.
actually zoomed in enough to read it.
It
Yes,
is
cow 3.
It is big.
gives another low moo towards you, and you see teeth far sharper than any dairy cow should have. Rows and rows of them, almost shark-like.
Incredible.
Anything else for you?
That is, that's it for Brun. He's Shark Cow is not on the docket for today.
All right.
But that is Brun.
Thane, you're up.
So Thane's gonna just fall back on their training. They have no idea what's happening, but they are gonna pull out their short bow and stay with the cargo that we're traveling with. Is that with Brun, or is that? Did you leave that behind?
So,
Brun's got the head in, and I believe I don't remember who has the metal, the shard.
Duncan.
Duncan's got the shard and a bunch of the viscera. Brun has the head. So Duncan and I are.
Those are
carrying
things that you would remember, Andrew.
Okay, I do
Yep.
know that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Thane is going to stay with Duncan in that case, with the short bow out, seeming like they're doing something, just like the bare minimum, but really they're just trying very hard to parse through the last things they remember. And just like try to put
Alright.
pieces together. But that's our turn. And if I could hold an action just in case anything comes running to us.
You can hold
I
an
would-
action, sure.
I'd send it that way.
So your action is anything that approaches or charges?
Yes.
Loose an arrow? Okay.
Yes.
That brings us around to the cows. So, got a lot of things to move here. Seeing you approach, Brun, Cow 3 is going to start approaching you. Cow 12 from under tree. Tiny humans.
Two
Cow 4
tiny humans.
is gonna hang out back here a little bit, kind of guarding the horse on the ground.
This was
As they get closer and closer, Brun, you do realize that they are slobbering. There's a lot of drool, and Cow 3 is going to go for a charge attack. So it will make an attack with its hooves. And it's awkward as it goes to attack. And you're very easily able to sidestep these flailing hooves. Again, a lot sharper than they should be. The other one, Cow 12, is going to go for a gore attack. And those horns are down, and they jab right under your armor. And that is 18 points of damage.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh, actually, I rolled the wrong die for that.
Oh, thank God.
It's actually 42 points of damage.
You know
Sorry,
what?
excuse my
Run going
mistake.
down. Run going
Sorry,
down.
that's only 12
It's-
points of damage.
That's a little better.
Yeah, as it sticks one of those nasty horns into your side.
Oh no.
Is Thane able to get a shot off?
Yes, which one would you like
the one
to
that-
aim for?
One that
I think you gotta bring your mic down as well.
The one that reached Brun first? That'd be 3.
An 18.
Yep.
So it would be 8 points of damage.
8. Okay. Excellent. All right. That brings us to Duncan. You've just
me.
seen Brun charged and gored.
All right, that's enough probable cause. Then Duncan requires. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'm going to run up kind of around Brun, drawing my sword and trying to kind of attack this cow from the flank.
Okay.
Okay. That is a 10 plus 5 is a 15.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Neighbor's on deck, by the way.
That is a 7 plus 3, 9, 10 points of damage. Does that count?
You got it. A sizable hit. You take a chunk out of its back flank, as it has tried to take a chunk out of your buddy Brun. Anything else for you then?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Brings us to Navos. It does not seem the cows have noticed you.
This is a bad idea. I would like to cast Hex on Cow 4.
Okay.
This will be a
Is there-
disadvantage. Disadvantage on strength ability checks, and I'll deal extra damage if I make an attack on it.
Okay. Do. We'll go with a little skull and crossbones. Why not?
Oh,
You're gonna have to remind me several times what that does, but we'll get there.
that's fine.
What is it? What does it look like? What does the hex look like?
Bits and pieces of it are starting to fade in and out. Sort of like the Eldritch Blast, except it's randomized. Oh, this is dumb. I go and tip it.
Okay, that sounds like a
Oh, yeah, it's a
contested strength to me.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
Advantage for stealth?
You know what? Yeah, I'll allow it.
That
You
would
take
be
best prize.
very nice. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so that was a 12 and a 16, so 16.
All right, you can move yourself over there. As you charge, like the little velociraptor you are, at this thing, while it is kind of glitching in and out of reality, just a little, it is fully blindsided when you tackle it, and is knocked prone. Well done. I rolled a 6 for it. Oh, sorry, a 7. What's a good icon for prone? I don't know.
Now dipping.
We'll give it that one. So it is currently hexed and prone.
Gotcha. I have you breath. I'm going to back up into the brush again.
All right. Anything else for you?
At the Homer Simpson.
Yeah, just fade. No,
That brings
I'm all
us
good.
around to Brun then.
Yeah.
You've just seen Navos charge from out of nowhere, knock a cow over, and then disappear again. He's not fully hidden because you didn't have a chance to stealth for that one. But you can see what he's going for, Brun.
I'm gonna try and knock this cow that's got me.
Cow 12?
Yes, cow 3, the one that's impaled me.
Cow 12 is the one that
Cow
impaled you.
12's got me impaled. Great. I would like to yeah, I would love to try and knock it. I would love to try and knock it over with an unarmed strike.
Okay.
With a shove. So it will be. So I have to make the attack, and then if I hit, it will be a contested strength or dex. Target chooses to see if they can stay standing. But I would like to take 12 sort of by the horns and throw her to the ground. Ooh, there we go. Unarmed attack. That's a 24 to hit.
That actually misses because it's too high.
We've moved around the other end.
Far.
We've gone even. Okay.
So you said it's a strength or a dex?
Contested strength or dex. Target chooses what they would like to use. I will be using strength.
Okay, they will also be using strength.
That is... Or no, because Brun doesn't roll for that. It's just against my DC, which is... target number will be 13.
Okay, that is a 21 to resist.
Jesus. Yeah, so Brun's like...
It's a big cow.
puts the hands on it, goes to push, and is like... Fuck.
It's very sturdy in its footing.
Yeah, Duncan and Navos definitely see Brun push and then be like, this is going nowhere. Bonus action, I would like to...
All over again.
Was there damage associated with your unarmed strike?
No. Because I used a shove instead of a strike. However, I'm going to attempt to grapple with the bonus action. So this will be contested strength or dex again.
Okay. Strength. Beat a 17.
That'll be a athletics. 16 plus 5, 21.
All right. You have this thing grappled. I assume by the horns or something.
Grab the horns and kind of pull the horns out and just pull the things. I'm nose to big wet bovine nose with this thing.
Juicy.
It smells real bad, but I've kept it from impaling me a second time for now.
For now.
But that'll be Brun.
All right, Thane, you're up.
Thane is going to attempt to taunt Cow 12. I want to use my compelled duel. And I just want to get its attention, and I just want to yell out, "We're going to ring your bell, Cow." And I'm going to go with a short bow. I had all that turn to think of something, and that's what I went with. It's a 15 plus 5.
It sounds like a very Thane move.
5 points of damage on that one. And it's a wisdom saving
with
throw.
your taunt, is there a distance requirement on that?
Yeah, I believe it's either 30 feet or 60 feet. Let me find it.
Compelled duel,
30
right?
feet.
30 feet. Okay. You are within that. You said it's a wisdom.
Yes, number to beat is 11.
That is only a 9. So what does compelled duel?
So that cow now wants to kill me, and it has disadvantage on attacks on anyone other than me, and it cannot intentionally move more than 60 feet away from me.
And that was cow 12.
That was number 12, yeah.
Okay.
It was also grappled.
Oh, goodness. Let's see. Yeah, so it wants to kill Thane, but is currently grappled by Brun, so it cannot move at the moment.
I will take that disadvantage on being re-impaled, though. I do appreciate it.
And how much damage was it? It was 10 damage?
I think I said 5. Did I say 5? I don't even know where I am right now, both in character and me.
You are Yosuke.
And I'm sorry. So 12 was the one he was grappled with. 3 was the one
Yes.
that I had hit previously,
Mm-hmm.
and that one he is not grappled with.
Correct.
And can I retcon to say that I went after that one instead? I got the two of them mixed up.
Ugh, fine.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
So now that
Cow
one wants
3,
to
the one
kill
that
me.
Duncan has been chopping at.
Mhm.
Yes, and I
His-
think that was 5 points of damage for that attack.
5 points of damage. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
Thane is going to back up just a little bit to get closer to Farney. They have no idea where they are, or if there's any additional threats, or what is happening at all. So normally they would be running in hammer, sickle, threat, but they don't. They're trying to be a little bit like they're hesitant at the moment. But that's my turn.
Okay. That brings us around to the cows. So, cow 4 on the ground, currently prone. To get back up is what, half movement, I
Half
believe?
Mhm.
Yep, so they will get back up, very confused as to what has happened, still hexed. Seeing Duncan is going to. Actually, let me roll a d4 here. Evens will be Duncan, odds will be Nevis. Okay, it is going after Duncan. This cow, Duncan, is going to go for a hoof attack on you. And similar to Brun, they're a little awkward, they're a little unsteady. It kind of rears to kick at you and misses. The blow of the hooves kind of glancing off of your armor. Cow 3, enraged at Thane, is going to...
That's an opportunity attack. That's
From both
another
of you.
opportunity attack.
Actually, it's only from one because I believe Brun is occupied with the grapple, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, he's holding. That is true. That's just me then.
Yep, so that's one from Duncan, if you'd like.
That is a 10.
You are going to swing and miss at it. In that case,
Okay. That's the other cow.
30. Okay, sorry, it's not done moving. It's going to advance on Thane and go for a charge attack. So, it will start with the hooves. Could I please maybe roll above that number?
No. No, please.
No, your dice can't go above 20.
Thane, you see the hooves as well and avoid them, but it goes in for a second one. Ooh, sorry, buddy. And the second one catches you by surprise. That is 16 points of damage, and I just threw my d8 into the abyss. God dang it.
Into garbage. Bye.
I guess I can't make that attack anymore.
Nope.
Yay! That
That's
means
okay.
that just means the worst
That's
attack
okay.
is coming.
Kobe.
That really
I have
hurt.
so many more dice.
I think in all solidarity,
sure
we should all
did,
throw
buddy.
our D8 away.
Cow
Look at the
12,
D8,
Brun, is engaged in grapple with you. So, that is going to be a strength or dex to break
To
the
break
grapple.
free?
Okay. We'll go strength. That's a 23.
Oh yeah, that'll work. I only got a 8.
All right. It is no longer grappled. That is the end of cow turn. That brings us back to Duncan.
Okay, that's me. Kind of
That's you.
watching this other one kind of run away, and now I have a new threat. I'm going to change targets to cow 4. I'm going to give it a big old smite, I think. Yep. So I'm going to kind of raise my sword above my head, and as it's coming down, kind of just quickly whisper some prayers as my sword makes contact with the cow. Hopefully it hits. That is an 11 plus 5. It's a 16.
That does, in fact, hit. Show it the
Yay.
power of your belief in God.
You know, I got the power of God and anime on my side.
Oh man, I've only got anime.
Whoa.
So I'm going to smite him.
Schmite.
For-
Nevos, remind me what Hex does in this case?
Disadvantage on strength checks, and only extra damage from me.
Okay. Thank you. What's that smite doing?
17 points of damage. As I'm
Duncan,
kinda,
how do you
lighting
take
my
this
sword.
cow down in one hit?
Just, my Lord Valor, protect us and guide our hands. And I'm just kind of extending my hand out and chopping center mass of its kind of snout.
Oh, split the brain pan. Oof.
Kind of something like that. So it ends up being like one of the predators. The mouth splits open like that.
You see all those gnarly teeth as it lets out a death wail, blood and viscera gurgling up from the throat. The cow drops. Navos, can the hex be moved to a new target, or is it just a one-time thing?
Just a one-time.
I might be thinking Hexblade's Curse.
Or Hunter's Mark would be the other
That
thing
too.
I might be thinking of.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for Duncan?
Yes, I'm going to move over to now 12 area, and that'll be me in my turn.
Okay. That's
Out a
Navos.
little bit.
What's up?
I'm glad you asked. I just read through again. If the target drops to 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn to curse a new creature.
Okay,
so I
well,
will-
conveniently, it is your turn.
Very conveniently.
Wow.
I will set that to Cow 3.
Okay. Cow
And
3
I will take
is now
an
hexed.
Eldritch Blast.
Bleached.
That is a 22.
Yeah, that'll hit. Which one? Are you still working on 3? That
Back,
blast?
back to 3. So that'll be 5 plus 1, 6 points of damage.
Okay. Another sizable hit. This cow in front of you, Thane, is now... parts of it are fading in and out of reality, and you see Navos's magic blast away part of it. Kind of the back, the rear of this cow is now gone. Just gone.
My assless.
Anything else for you, Navos?
No, I am all
That's really-
set.
That's how they make those assless
Alright.
chaps. They just take it off the
That
cow.
brings us to Brun.
Thank you, Evan. Also, Evan the player. Evan the baby was the one making that joke. For those of you just listening in, yeah, Cow 12 sort of got free of my grip, and like Duncan, as you come up, Brun's just like kind of. All right, now I'm
All right.
mad.
Are you
Now I'm
fighting it, or
mad.
are you wrestling it? Just let's go.
You just like Brun just balls up the fists, and I'm just gonna punch this thing in the head. I'm just gonna like
I
a
will
pneumatic
remind you-
hammer.
Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep.
Just as a brief reminder for combat, that you can, in fact, get flanking for +2. Just putting that out there.
I'd
But
have
if
to
you want to
get-
just
I'd have
duke
to
it
get
out
here.
with this cow. Nope.
Where would I have?
1 over.
Okay, so I've just got on the other side.
The back. Sorry.
Okay.
If you want.
No, Brun's mad. Brun's been impaled. Brun's had a
Punch.
shitty day.
No.
Just like you would just watch the hands kind of ball up, and like it's the Star Trek hit where like they lace their fingers together and like hit him in the back, except I'm going right in between the horns. So we're going to. Yeah, I'm not going to do any maneuvers. We're just going to punch this thing. So yeah, we're just going to hit. Can't wait till I get more than one attack. It's going to be so good.
I know. Me too.
That is
Hang on,
awesome.
Jack.
19 for a 24.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
This one seems a lot hardier than the cow 4. and its horns are currently dripping with your own blood. So, how much damage are you doing?
Can I ask? No, I already said I wouldn't. That's fine. Oh God, come back! Come back!
Breach the walls.
14. I rolled max damage on that. Big
Nice.
crunchy hands just come clobbering into the center of this thing's head.
Duncan, there's a lot more force, a lot more velocity behind this swing than you have seen from Brun before. And the sound of it hitting the cow in the back of the skull, you hear the crunch. The cow is still standing, but shaking its head, kind of woozy and dazed. Brings us to Thane. Cow 3 is up in your face, dipping out of reality just a little bit.
Yeah, so a couple questions. One, I think we covered this already, but switching between weapons is a bonus action?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do that as a bonus action to pull out my hammer and sickle. Now, is this cow, this undead-seeming cow, attacking me
Nope, not undead.
on 2 legs? Oh, well, this whatever cow. It's attacking me, but it's looks like it's standing on 2 legs.
No, it had kind of reared to hit you with its hooves. It's on 4 legs, but just kind of like bucked up to swing hooves at you and drop back down.
Okay. I thought that its bottom half disappeared.
Yeah. No, just kind of like the back
Handstand.
top corner.
Yeah, that's what I'm
booty of
picturing. It's
it?
just like this cow. Okay,
it's
I'm
just
going
kinda like the booty.
I'm going to attack it with my sickle. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Not too shabby. And that's going to be a total of 7 points of damage.
What's it look like as you take this cow down?
Thankfully, Thane has their helmet on because they are freaking the fuck out. This is like the worst possible dream that they either have fallen asleep into or are waking up into, and it's kind of half attack but also half flail, just like doing whatever to get this thing away from them. So yeah, it's
not a flail, it's a sickle.
but it does not look pretty. It's a very panicky kind of attack.
Duncan will likely have notes about that attack later. Cow 3 dropping to the ground. Doo-doo. Red X of death, let's go! Leaving us now with Cow 12, pissed off, hurt, and angry. We will roll between the two of you. Alright. Duncan, Cow 12 is going to swing its head towards you and go for the horns as it's kind of shaking its head back and forth a little bit, trying to clear its vision. That is going to hit. Oh, buddy.
Okay. Oh, buddy.
That's 11 points of damage to you, my friend, as it swings its horns into your side as well. Maybe more into your chest. You're a little bit shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And that is it for Cow. That brings us around to Duncan. Your retort.
All right. I will retort by attacking it. That is...
You could also get flanking.
Oh, that's right. I could, but that's all right. Too late. That is a 7 to attack.
Yeah, you go for the swing, and it your sword kind of glances to the side a little bit. You've just taken a sizable hit to the chest.
Try to put
It's thrown you off your balance.
Juice on. Okay. Looking at
He's
Brun,
juicing.
I'm juicing. Does he have like a visible hole from where his like he got hit by that cow?
There's a big old puncture wound.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm looking for. Is it about the size of a finger?
It's a bit bigger than that.
Okay. I can fit a finger.
Maybe
in
about
it,
a hand.
Okay, I'll do 2.
Yeah,
fingers.
Curtis, thank you for that.
And as I'm kind of getting hit, and I kind of miss with the swing, I'm going to take my 2 fingers and kind of put them in this little hole and do we'll say 10 points of lay on hands inside that hole. I'm gonna, put them in there and split them a little bit, and let the radiant energy kind of flow through it.
Okay.
Anyway. Mavis,
Whew,
you're
is it
back.
hot in
Anything
here?
else for you, Duncan?
But no, that would be it for me. So you'll take 10
Is
points.
this where brunch comes into play? All right, Navos.
It was more of a I hope you don't fall asleep on your shift again kind of thing.
Me with a weird time.
Navos, what are you doing? Save us.
We're going full slow-mo. I think I'm still stealth. I'm not, but I'm doing like a full roll and going for a headshot to Cal 12.
Claws
Alright.
clanking on the rocks.
That is 18.
He does like an awkward. Yeah, that'll hit. He does like an awkward, sideways somersault.
Oh,
Very
it looks,
uncomfortably.
yeah, it looks awful, but in his head, it's amazing.
I'm almost imagining running out of the tree line where he's clearly on the road and then doing the roll.
How much damage is that?
That's 9 points. I walk out, take the shot, and then do the somersault.
And then do the roll.
God damn it, Jason Bourne.
My God.
Incredible. Anything else for you, Navos?
I somersault back into the bush.
Back into the bushes. All right, Brun, that brings us to you. Cow 12, part of their brain case is now a gaping hole in its form.
Yeah. Say like Duncan, when you put your fingers in and did the healing,
So it hurts and helps.
it doesn't. There's something off. There's something weird that you can't quite put your finger on. His Brun kind of pulls
Extra
away. It's gritty, not like Philadelphia hockey team gritty. It's weird. There's something funky there. But yeah, Brun just kind of pulls away, and is just like, "Don't do that again!" and slams his hands down. We're gonna do it. Second verse, same as the first. Frey, filthy 20.
I'm imagining as my fingers are
Disgusting,
kind of coming
especially after what
out,
Evan's
it's
been
like
saying.
kind of suturing shot.
Yeah, there's the skin does sort of knit itself back together, but there's like
Like Play-Doh.
How much damage is that?
5 on the die. That is 11.
How do you finish it?
Just a hand, again, both hands sort of stick it together and just down on the center of that, where I know where I hit before, and it's Duncan probably and Navos get a good view of the brain hitting, just exiting its intended container, and just
It splatters.
hit the head. The hands stop moving. The cow gets all the momentum and just thuds into the ground. Not even time for a scream.
Ground beef.
If it had 2 legs, it'd be lean
All
beef.
It's true.
Well, the other one does.
Yeah.
Say to this guy.
Usually.
Yeah, Duncan Brun's breathing hard and is just he's breathing harder than he should be for something like that.
All right, friends, that is the end of that combat. Congratulations.
Yay.
Thane's gonna run to the bushes to the south. That's near them here. If they down their breastplate and quickly polish it off, can they see the face they're wearing in the reflection of that breastplate?
I will say doffing armor takes 10 minutes total.
Yeah,
You
it
could
would
probably
just be the-
scrub a vambrace. So your
Whatever's
arm.
flat, I thought was
you can get
just
the underside of your armor. Your armor. and see the face you're wearing. It is a feminine face, very generic, kind of like your typical traveling face, or your typical face you've been showing to the boys, but more feminine.
So it's not one of the ones that I picked up in the basement of the temple, or it doesn't.
No.
Okay.
If you looked hard enough and you squinted, like maybe there's some features that you had borrowed, but it is a very generic feminine face.
Okay. We'll throw that back on and just try to center ourselves, and we're just gonna sit here for the next minute or so, just to gather ourselves before facing the others.
Farney, from where they were left behind. Well, that was certainly more exciting than it usually is on this road. Kind of stepping past Cow 3. That is highly unusual. Navos, did you want to harvest from these? I can assist. I can show you how.
Yes, I think it'd help. I'd also like to investigate the horse and the bag that was attached to it.
Sure.
Maybe we can pull some from this as well, if it hasn't all been eaten.
So, who is butchering? Who is investigating?
So Duncan, before any butchering gets done, wants to investigate the cows to make sure they're not tainted meat of any kind, because tainted potions probably wouldn't help us. I guess he's trying to derive their source of this aberration, if they are just aberrations or if they are kind of mutated.
Sure. Give me. What are you feeling for this? Investigation, perhaps?
This investigation. This could be, I feel like, a religion check, a medicine check. Any of those would work.
Let's go for investigation.
Absolutely. That is a 15.
Okay.
Let's do it. For a 15.
Looking closer at Cow 12 in front of you, with its splattered brain case, you see those really sharp, shark-like teeth, just rows and rows in a mouth that should not hold them. The horns elongated, very sharp, as you found out firsthand. Overall, it looks like a pretty standard dairy cow. You're not sure where around here there's a farm that they may have come from, if they've traveled where they started, you know. You see very faint bits of black fiber. Very, very faint. Not nearly...
Navos, hold up. Wait a minute. Come look at this.
I'll rush over.
And I'll kind of show him there's fibers coming out of these cows. I don't think they could be used for potions. They're tainted.
Darn. Should we still try the horse? I'll stay away from these.
We could look at the horse, but these cows need burnt.
Of course.
And so, Navos, if you're going to investigate the horse, I'm going to start collecting materials to start a small pyre here in the middle of the road.
Okay.
Sure. Easy enough. Brun, what are you up to?
Brun's going to go over to the horse and look start combing the woods for any sign of the rider. And if there's nothing immediately by the horse, go through the saddlebags.
Okay. That sounds like another investigation.
Please do better than last time. Oh, that's a little better.
Better than a 1?
Yes. We added a 0 to it for a 10.
Moving on.
A 0-1?
A 0-1. It's binary now.
0-1 is what, 2?
It's 2.
Yes, on Month of
It's
Pride.
getting 2. That's
Anyway,
fine,
so
binary.
as you're kind of looking through the woods around here, Duncan, you're able to find dead branches and stuff. It's going to take a little bit of time to get enough wood and fuel to light up 3 whole cows.
Yeah, if Barney's not doing anything now that we're not extracting anything of these cows, Duncan will try to recruit him. Like, hey, come help me find some dry bushes and stuff.
And they'll acquiesce.
Okay.
Help you kind of gather what's necessary. Wander over toward the pile of bushes where Thane has gone. Thane, are you using these sticks, or can I take them?
It's just gonna like wave at the sticks, and they're just going through their stuff. They have like a little travel journal just to see if there's any new entries, if there's anything new on their person. That's all they're doing. They don't give a shit about whatever Farney or anyone else wants right now.
Okay. Duncan, I found these. Your companion is having a moment in the bushes. I'm not sure
kind of
what to do about that, but we should probably get
roll his
moving
eyes
somewhat
and, like,
soon.
Yes, I'll take care of that. Can you just keep
Uh,
building a big stick pile here?
Of course.
Ron and Navos, when you're done, can you start dragging the bodies on top of it so we can light this up? Thank you.
We'll do. Farney, where do I start? And just take out both my daggers.
Where do I start?
Well, you'll want to start by figuring out
That's a
where.
somersault.
Avoid the bruised meat. Tuck in around the organs. That tends to be pretty clean fat. Brun, you seem familiar with organs. Perhaps you could help with that as well.
I mean, that's a good point. Do you want to just start ripping stuff out?
How pretty do you want the fat to be?
Does not matter at all. It all gets combined together no matter what.
Kind of like puts a foot on like one hip, reaches in to grab like some exposed rib, just cracks open the chest.
Two sessions in a row.
I got
eating something.
I got a niche, man. I don't know what
got
to
it.
tell you.
Gotta do it. There's a body. It needs
I love what
Mavis,
you
evisceration.
do, and you
you-
never work a day in your life.
So since you're
Doing the-
harvesting here, Navos, how about for me you roll? Do. What are you gonna do? Sleight of hand? Something Dexy?
Yeah, sleight of hand works. I don't see anything else. Not too nature-esque.
Can Brun assist?
You could do a nature with a Dex roll if you'd want, or a survival.
Oh, I don't know. See, I don't know how Navos has survived. There is no survival about him. That's a 13.
Can
Okay. With
can
Brun's
assist.
assistance, I will grant you
hooray!
advantage.
Okay, thank you.
Avantage.
That's a 14.
Okay. One better. Let's go. With that, I will say you get enough usable material for 1 salve. So you'll still need 1 portion more to use up all the herbs that Duncan had gathered.
Gotcha.
But for now, that is 1 additional salve that could be made.
Thank you so much.
Which-
I could have used you on my many trips.
Me or Barney?
You, Brun, for tearing the meat out. I usually just eat out of the trash, whatever I can find.
are you? We could talk dumpster diving later. Do you need anything else with this?
No. I do apologize. Let me open the satchel for you, if you'd like to take a look.
Well,
And
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Like Brent's like, That's probably for the best. As his hands are just coated. Is there a stream or anything nearby?
There's a little bit of water running over the hill.
And
You
then
can
you
wash
realize
up.
it's Duncan just taking a quick pee.
Don't waste that.
You're gonna waste that? God dang it. I regret ever showing you that video.
But yeah, Brun will like wipe his arms off, and we'll take a look in the satchel.
Yeah, so inside the satchel, you see 2 rations. So somebody had prepared for travel. You can take those if you want. There's 7 gold. Or, sorry, not 7 gold, 7 silver. My bad. A set of clothes. Well, most of a set. There's like a pair of pants that definitely won't fit you. There's a shirt splayed further away. Hat. That kind of thing. Looking around the area nearby, you see where somebody kind of pushed through the leaves of the bushes. You assume that's where a humanoid type figure has gone. In the satchel as well, you see the money has the marks of Kahlo. So, take from that what you will. Anything else for all that?
No other possessions in the saddlebags. Just like some money and money.
There's
and a horse.
like some traveling toiletries, like
But no
very
letters.
basic
No.
no. Somebody traveling through.
Hey, Duncan.
What? What's up? As I'm kind of like walking over to this bush.
I think whoever's horse this is ran off into the woods, kind of that way.
We
Between
can hope they ran off.
between Navos and I, we're probably not the best to go make an introduction. Do you mind?
Probably not. I'm gonna talk with this. Get them cows into a big pile.
Yeah. Well, I'll tag out.
Thanks. And I'm kind of like gonna push myself into the bush a little bit, and I looking for Thane.
I'll also
Hey,
run
buddy.
open, like grab the horse and pull as well, and start dragging it back over.
When Thane senses Duncan showing up without even turning, do you not have a rule against attacking when a quarter of your forces are not prepared for that attack?
Not specifically.
Do you think maybe
But,
because there's only 4 of us that are capable of fighting? I don't know about Farney, but he wasn't doing much. Do you think that maybe when one of the 4 of us is saying something like, hey, something is very, very wrong, we don't know why we're here, we don't know what's going on, do you think maybe instead of proceeding with attacking something that is no immediate threat, no one is immediately in danger, the onus is on us on whether we decide to attack and when? Do you think maybe it's better to understand what's happening? I'm sorry.
Whoa,
we
I understand. Well, honestly, I
don't want to.
really do not.
We don't want to take it out on you. We don't mean to do that.
I think the issue arises from I wasn't sure of the severity of whatever is happening to you. I'm just, an old fella here. I'm trying my best. Those cows were eating a horse, which I don't know which kind of parts of the world you have traveled to. I would agree in most of all of them that is not a normal thing.
And it's
So
worth
to me, I
investigating.
registered it as a threat, and a threat needed to be ascertained and assessed before, because it didn't seem like you. It just seemed like you were kind of out of it, but not really in danger. I do
We don't
apologize
know.
if we rushed into it a little bit too much for you, but
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
but it does matter. You're just as you're completely correct. You're just as a equal member of this group as everyone else. However,
We don't know what happened, Duncan. The last thing we remember is being in the temple. We don't remember we don't remember leaving the city. We don't remember anything. We were in the temple and suddenly we were here. And there is time missing, and there is agency missing. And
I can understand this is confusing. I'm right there with you. Honestly, right there with you. Very confusing. Has anything like this ever happened before for you?
no. And it's more than confusing, it's horrifying to not be in control of oneself and to not even know it.
I was honest, to be honest, I don't know you that well, but the last couple of days you have been kind of off a little bit. I don't even know
Hours.
what the word would be for it. Kind of monotonous. If they were to build some sort of inhuman device out of, I don't know, metal of some kind, it would be akin to that. Whatever that word would have been, because it doesn't exist yet.
Did we say anything? Did we?
Nothing
what
out
were
of the
we doing?
normal pleasantries. Like I said, it almost seemed like you were kind of in your body, but your body wasn't you.
Did we train at all?
We did not
we
train.
Share anything?
Didn't seem like you had any serious interest last night in it, so I didn't really want to push it. I know you had mentioned it before, but we can put that off to the side for right now. We can kind of table that discussion. We kind of have to understand what happened here first, because this could be something that's not super good for you, and that concerns me, and I do believe that would concern the rest of the group.
We would certainly hope so. But okay, and Thane's gonna stand. We can soldier through it. DM, is the last thing? Does Thane remember when we were cutting up the body, and like Thane had left? Was Thane themselves through that, or was that? something you don't
So,
remember?
why don't you roll for me history to see how far you can push your memory?
17, 15 plus 2.
Okay. As you dig through the depths of your memories, looking for that lost time, it's kind of hazy. You recall being disgusted by the initial walk into the room. You remember you had talked with Kanala in Brell's room. You vaguely remember writing notes. You're back in the room. The Ratman is in pieces in Brun's fist. Also splayed across the table. There were a lot of questions. You don't remember exactly what the questions were. A lot of observations. You were writing. Everything is packed up. You are leaving. You remember Farney being impatient to go, and at the gate, getting ready to leave, Jepka was there. Why was Jepka there? There were more people with Jepka, but then they left, and you traveled. It looked like a battlefield, but it was covered in plants and mud, and the forest is looming over you and pushing in. You're in a cave, a shallow cave, and people are moving around your companions. You think. Probably. And then you are dreaming. You're pretty sure it was dreaming. Roll me 1d6.
I can do that. That's a 6.
You were floating in a void. Kind of like when you were being hit by all those attacks while Silverwater laughed. It was dark. You could feel substance around you. You could feel the hits. In this case, it's dark again. You expect those attacks. You wait for the voice. Hold, please. Do. Oh no, where's the thing? Where's the thing?
Oh, hey, you silly goose. It's right there.
Oh my goodness. Hello? Hello? Oh no. Beans. Okay. So you waited for this something to happen. And you heard kind of an echoey voice. Who are you?
Am I in real time?
You're in the dream, yeah. Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you?
We think we're lost. There are those who call us Thane. Verdance was the name I was given.
Verdance.
Family name.
You're not who we're looking for.
Who are you looking for?
Not Verdance. Goodbye. And you wake up
Fuck.
on the road.
We will relay that on to Duncan.
Yeah, and
Uh,
do I see kind of Thane just space out for a minute and then kind of come back to himself again? Or themselves?
You saw them trying, it looked, to remember. Getting a little spaced out.
Kind of snapping my fingers a little bit. You there?
Duncan, if that happens again, you will be the most likely of this group to know that something is wrong. Okay, you see things that people do not. Ask us about our parents. If it happens again and you suspect that we are not who we are supposed to be, ask us about our parents. And if we are ourselves, we will tell you we don't know them.
I
give you
think
a
a
made-up story.
normal keyword could have worked like thunder, lightning, but that works too, I suppose.
That's very, very frightening.
But yeah, ask us about your parents.
Let's go find the others. We'll try to.
Yeah, and I'm
Stop slowing
gonna
you down.
extend a hand out to kind of help him up. Help him
They'll
up.
take it.
Okay. And I'll kind of lift him up like a soldier. Give him a pat on the back, and we'll exit the bush. Oh, the cows are on fire. Perfect. Do we get anything out of the horse?
Kind of tasty, actually.
Kind of tasty. Salt and pepper. We got something here. Do we get anything out of the horse?
Yes, I have enough for one salve, but it won't be enough for everything you've gotten so far.
That's okay. And I'll kind of like reach down into my herb pouch and kind of separate it as best as I can into 2 equal portions, and give one of the portions to Navos, so he can do whatever he wants with that.
Okay. Not much in the horse's bag, but
No letters, just some clothes, some coin, and 2 days of rations. They're
Yeah, I
traveling
wonder
light,
if
apparently.
said occupant is still out there.
Brun just points to the part where the bush got pushed in. You and Farney might have good luck. Actually, Farney, you want to see if anybody's alive in there?
You see their face kind of twist
Please.
a little bit, like, ugh.
Yeah, come on, Fernie, let's go. And I'll kind of
Is
walk up
is this really necessary, or can...
to him. Probably not. And I'm gonna put my stump arm over his shoulder, so you can just see the flatness.
They are...
And kind of drag him over to, nope, that's a line. Thing. Over to that bush.
If I die, good luck getting into Kahlo, and they will stride into the woods. You notice as they move, being a wood elf, they are very well adapted to such an environment, and they meld into the bushes very quickly and easily.
Put a little bell
After,
on.
well, it takes a few minutes. Anything else you guys want to chat about while Farney is in the woods?
I would like to throw up a minor illusion of one of the cows' faces and try to draw it out in my journal, just for the future.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. What were we rolling for that? I forget every single time.
Yeah, it changes. Maybe sleight of hand, unless you want more of like investigation.
You choose what you'd like to roll.
We'll go in for investigation.
All right. As you observe the lines of its face and the features it sports, what'd you get?
15.
Your rendition is pretty good. You even get the details of the eyes just right. You realize that they agitated, similar to the animals that you had faced at the petting zoo, how they were not in their right mind, but they were also bloodshot and strained. There was a lot of trauma around the mutation sites. So even that makes it into your drawing.
Really focusing on the eyes, making sure to take many checks as we travel. Fear that this somehow has already spread.
As you were in battle, you didn't notice much of it, but now that you are looking closer at this cow's face, you feel that pressure. Persistent, urging you to look closer at those details. And as you do so, as you acquiesce, your journal shows all that you've noticed. Anyone else?
I think once Thane notices that someone needs help, even though they still have a lot on their mind, they're going to move that direction too, after Duncan.
Okay. takes about 10, 15 minutes. And Farney, everything you've seen them do every time they've completed or worked on a task, it's been very efficient, very straightforward, just get it done quickly, right? That's kind of their whole thing. The fact that it's taking them 10, 15 minutes, either they're dead or they're really searching. You're not quite sure which. How long are you going to let them stay in the woods before you do anything? At what
I'd probably
point
wait
do you
that
become alarmed?
10, 15 minutes without having seen Farney and just kind of, Farney, you out there?
It takes a moment, and just long enough for you to start to get concerned, and they actually appear out of the bushes this way, next to you. Kind of stride right up. A little bit surprising. Yes, Duncan. I
Did you find anything?
didn't find much. There's blood back there. Something seems to have eaten, dragged, killed. I'm not sure. I don't particularly care to parse out those details. But our supposed humanoid seems to have been made to disappear at this point. I didn't find where they went. That would take much longer than we have time for. I didn't really find more effects or anything, signs of a scuffle. I did search, but not much to find, unfortunately.
No, you did the best you could.
The tracks leading away were quite different from our bovine friends. Much larger, deeper imprints, different foot shape. Whatever it was, I would not like to meet it. So, clapping their hands together, can we move on then? I would rather not be delayed much longer. While we did find some rations, it still should take us a few more days of travel. So I'd like to get on with that. All right then. Perfect. And they are going to start striding off down the road again. All right. The rest of the day passes pretty comfortably. The smell of burning bovine behind you. You see that plume of smoke leaving along the horizon. Eventually it seems to go down. Either that or you've gotten too far away now to see it. The road as you travel opens up. The plants are not quite as voracious out here. As our scout, Duncan, what kind of area are you looking for to finish your day of travel?
What kind of natural features are near us? Is there a forest of some kind, an open plain that we can kind of see for a great distance or any like abandoned structures that we can kind of cover in? At
this point, you've been passing by a small river. The road kind of follows the meanders vaguely. There are some places where the water has kind of cut into the stream bank and eroded away the road a little bit. People have just kind of gone around. Is there any exceptionally large clearing near the river that would kind of make a nice a campsite that we can also wash up in? Are you looking for a beach episode? I'm not. No, not a beach, but just kind of like a riverside. We could. Yeah.
I mean, Duncan looks great in a bikini, but we'll have to save that for later. Just like a large that with clearing. Davos's hot yoga, and we've got a beach episode and a half.
And my brunch martini with my Hawaiian shirt. We're going crazy.
And
Thane would go to the beach.
Or like a sunglasses, but it's just like one big lens.
In what was that, Andrew?
Thane would go
What'd
to
you
the beach
say?
in full armor.
All those
Yeah,
tan
that,
lines,
that
though.
tracks.
The best
Brutal tan
sunscreen.
lines.
Just right on the
would
face.
definitely
that's-
not use sunscreen. It's wouldn't use it.
So yeah, you can find kind of a washed high point of the riverbed.
Mhm.
So all this deposited stone that kind of juts out into the stream where the water is meandered away from a previous riverbed. There's a high wall around it that leads up to the road where the trees kind of hold the cliffside, not the cliffside, the soil together. There's a bit of an undercut here where if you set up underneath, you would be covered from at least basic rain or sun.
Okay. I think Duncan would find that as like, oh, that's a can't ask for really much for better, and kind of lead. Just gotta find that spot, come back, all right, and kind of guide them towards this campsite for the night.
All right, so that will bring us to the rest portion of our day, or the activity portion. If you all have activities that you would like to do, declare them so. Otherwise, we'll move into the rest section of our
Thane's a
day.
couple.
Okay.
So as soon as we get to camp and we're set up, Thane is going to go to the journal that they keep, which really is just a living manifesto, because of course it is. But Thane is going to start journaling their daily activities, things they remember from the day, if they have like rough timestamps, like things like that, and just try to create like a baseline moving forward. Of if they do lose time again, when that began, that kind of stuff. And then after that's done, they want to approach Duncan. Are you ready to train? Do you want to start doing that today?
Honestly, yeah, it would be probably the perfect area to do it.
If you can keep up. Okay.
If you can keep up. And like the most stonewall boot camp face.
Okay.
All right.
So shall we? How do you want to? I imagine you've done this before, so we figure like for sparring, we can help you out with that, and help.
We'll get to sparring, but first, it starts with soul cleansing.
Oh shit.
As a paladin of Velos, our training starts bright and early every morning, but we'll start it this evening with a cold water bath. So up down to your skivvies, let's go. And Duncan will start pulling off his armor, leaving his underwear and things and stuff on, but he'll slowly start plunging himself into the river itself. I'm hoping it's cold water.
We do realize that we turned
Yeah, it's
ourselves
cold.
into a woman recently,
Mm.
so we don't know what exactly you're trying to pull. We don't leave our armor.
All right, hop in with your armor then. Let's go.
Dan's gonna like walk in and just like to like their knees. Is this like a deep river? Is this like a deep creek? Are they gonna drown because they're?
No, you're not going to
even if it
drown.
is-
This is like
yeah, even if it's
knee
deep,
to hip
he's-
height.
Like he's walking down and then he's going to sit. Duncan will sit into the water itself, kind of as far as up to his chest as he can, kind of like up here, and he'll just close his eyes and kind of sit in this meditative stance, kind of mumbling to himself in Celestial, just the prayers that they would say to kind of harden their body and spirit at the same time.
Thane's gonna back up a little bit and go to the shoreline because they realize if their armor gets soaked and all their clothing underneath, then they're gonna be soaked forever. they're going to have trench foot of the body. So Thane's just going to back up and like sit on the shoreline and attempt to go into that meditative state, but without getting wet, because they're practical.
Brun, like seeing you come back and sit on the shore, and Navos or Brun, who's like got his hands up and he's just kind of watching all this. Oh, and he, like reaches into the bag, and pulls out like the pair of pants that Brun pulled from the saddlebags, like pulled all the stuff out, pulls out like the spare change of clothes and just like chucks it at Thane. Just be like. Just chucks it. When you turn to look back, he just gives a thumbs up and then puts his hands back up behind his head to just watch.
Thane is going to look at you for half a second, grab the clothes, and then like walk off into the woods and change. They are going to come back without their armor on, but you notice that they now have extremely long hair that is covering all of them, and they just the person underneath you cannot see, but you can tell for a moment they're looking at you, and then they walk off into the water.
Is this Naruto
and sit down.
censorship?
it's cousin it, but censored. Like it's.
And Thane's gonna sit there.
And this will probably go on for about 20 minutes to half of an hour, as the cold water kind of flows over our muscles. And as we are saying, well, I'm saying my prayers. I don't know if Thane is kind of saying whatever he says to his collective. But you can kind of just hear him mumbling the same things over and over and over again. And every once in a while, if you're actually paying attention, he's kind of tensing his muscles. Not to flex them, but to just get them in that conditioning training, whereas the cold water kind of hardens his muscles and then he flexes them to keep them warm, so that he learns these breathing practices to keep himself warm.
Thane will attempt to copy that where they can.
I don't know if there's any rolls for that to see how well you can sustain train. I feel like a constitution thing.
Constitution saving throw sounds real spicy to me.
I will say, Thane is probably terrible at the meditation side of this, because they are always moving and trying to think about things, and just like turning that off is very difficult. So I'd like to roll, but with disadvantage if I can.
Absolutely.
Okay.
No,
I
no,
love me a spicy disadvantage.
That sucks, because that would have been a 19 on the first, a 22. A 19 and a 20. I'm rolling really well today. So 22 with disadvantage.
Okay. So
You
kind of
fall
seeing you...
into... Oh,
Oh,
never mind. Go ahead. Nope. You go.
All right,
Your scene.
So Duncan is a little surprised, to be honest. This is something that he does with new initiates all of the time, or well, rather used to. Most just can't handle it. They get so cold that they have to get out. They have to run. It is the very faith that he has in Velos and his mission that is what's keeping him warm and kind of toasty in those feelings. And seeing that you're not kind of praying or doing anything similar, he is surprised that you managed to last that long. And after about 20 to 30 minutes, Duncan will kind of stand up and the water kind of rinse off of him. I'm surprised you were able to manage that, but there might be a soldier inside of you yet.
Well, I mean, in fairness, Duncan, we've probably seen more combat than you. It's less about the soldiering side. Honestly, like the cold, I mean, if that's what you're talking about, we weren't really too bothered by that. Like, you know, people endure suffering all the time.
There's more to soldiering than combat. I'll let you know that.
Yeah, well, that's what we wanna learn from you. We did have some trouble with the just sitting there, especially. I mean, 30 minutes doesn't feel long, but it felt really long. But
Yep.
after a little bit, it was kind of nice just to not think about anything for a little bit.
Usually, during that time, I'm kind of reaffirming, kind of things that I've thought about to my gods. That helps me find my sense of balance, my purpose in this world, and that is what ignites my internal flame.
Well,
Once you can harness
glad that-
this, you can harness this, or well, this, because I'm not really getting close.
we're glad that you have something that you can hold on to. We've always believed that the kingdom of the gods is within men, not one man or a group of men, but within everybody. But if you find your strength in something outside of that, then
But isn't
power to
that how all the gods work? The gods only have strength through our faith, through our collective spirit in them. So in a sense, the gods themselves, just as your faith predicts, is amongst all of us. As
Yes,
much as you probably don't accept Velos, he is still a part of you. He is a part of all of us.
we agree. In fact, we couldn't agree more. We think that all the gods are a piece of something, as are we.
And I think using that and being able to find strength and that is what makes a good paladin. That's what separates a soldier from a paladin, I believe.
We want to be better at defending others when they need it, of being able to step in and take that hit for them or whatever is necessary, even at a distance. Is that something that you've...
I think I
trained
might
in? Is there-
be able to show you something. And Duncan will kind of leave the river while he's talking to Thane, the two of us leaving. And I'll go and change back into my kind of like downtime clothing. Hopefully assuming Thane is doing the same as well.
Dane's going to put their armor on first chance they get.
And when we kind of come back, let me show you something. And he'll take his stump and his hand and kind of roll it over it. And as he's rolling it, he is kind of building up some radiant energy kind of just at the tip of his stump. And as a bonus action, I would like to cast Sanctuary. And as I cast it, I'm kind of like rolling it and pulling it off onto Thane. And you kind of feel this thin, like, it's almost like a second skin of the universe itself, but kind of concentrated into a very thin film around you, as you are now provided with advantages against anything that would attack you. Or you ward a creature with a ranged attack till the spell ends. A creature who is targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must make a wisdom saving throw, or they'll lose the target or attack. Or the attack or spell.
That's just... And you just... You pull from something in yourself when you're doing this?
My internal flame.
And Thane's thinking like back to the divine spite that they do. That's basically at this point all they know. So we have an idea of what that is like. Okay. And Thane's just going to try to replicate what Duncan is doing. Everything from the movements to the centering of oneself. Is there something that you have in mind specifically when you do this?
I find that finding the balance, the peace in this world, my devotion to others, keeping these thoughts in my heart, pulling from that source of strength, remembering all of the times that I can be of service to others, use myself as a shield against those who would do others harm, and pulling from those emotions, having that clear picture in your mind, and the rest just kind of follows suit.
And you can. This works on anybody. This works on yourself
This
if
works
you
on
need it to.
everyone. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Anyone up to roughly say 30 feet, if they had to pick a number.
Okay. Okay. Pull your sword out. Or a stick. Whatever you.
And so
A
I'll
sword.
kind of
Do a
like
sword.
run over to my bag a little bit and grab my sword out of its scabbard and pull it out.
Okay. Dane's
Into
putting their
kind of
weapons
flourishing.
away. Okay. We don't want you to try this on anyone else, obviously. But try to hit me.
Okay. And I'll kind of stand up, plant my feet, and do just a kind of like practice swing that I've done a million
Okay.
times.
Dane tries to do what Duncan just did and fails. I don't even want to like roll for success on the first one. Just like it whacks me. Okay. Do it again.
All right. Remember, center yourself. Cloud out the sounds of the environment.
Not doing
You are the arbiter of justice. You are the defender. Be the defender.
the shield for the
And then I'll
people
kind of line it up. And this time, I'm going full force. I'll even roll an attack roll if you have to.
Can I roll to see if I am successful? So I want to be attempting to do a version of Sanctuary, but Thane's spin on this will be Shield of Faith, where they're basically just granting themselves or someone else a +2 AC. So similar kind of vibe, but it's tailored to more of Thane's style, I guess.
Go ahead and roll for me. What is your spellcasting modifier as a paladin? It's charisma.
Charisma.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma, but at disadvantage.
Do you still want me to roll an attack roll?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
See how bad you mess him up.
That's a 9.
Holy fuck, that's
buddy.
a dirty 20.
Ooh, buddy.
Throw it up, man!
How much
yeah,
damage
dirty
does
20.
that do, Duncan?
Max damage, 8 plus 3, 10, 11, 12. No, 11.
How is Thane looking after a hit like that? Still got your long hair?
Really bad.
Yeah, that's
Um,
a gash.
I'm not good. I am not looking good, especially from that hit from earlier.
Duncan, you see Thane trying to internalize your message, trying to reach that inner flame. And as you put your full faith in them, your sword cleaves right into the joint in their armor. The metal folds a little bit around your sword, and you've messed them right up. Thane spits out some blood, coughs a little bit, reeling, and you realize that your faith in them, while very strong, did not quite help them. In this
Yeah.
instance, they probably need more practice with lower stakes to really master this. For now, though, it's up to you if you want to continue training. I will say that
I
you
think
get
that's a good enough
a couple more
indicator that
lines
Duncan
here.
needs to do some more basics with Thane than he probably realized. And as I'm pulling my sword out, I'm quickly just putting my hand on
all the way up.
and burning the last of my lay on hands, which is 5 charges, into that wound to kind of close it up so it's not bleeding anymore.
Thank you.
Andrew, you did get a full rest, by the way, so your resources that return with that are back, and you would have started the day with full health as well.
This was the evening, right? That we're doing
Yeah,
the
this is
training
evening
or
time.
first thing in the morning.
Yes, so if you took damage in the attack, in the cow combat, that damage carries, but you started the full day with full health.
Yeah, if I did not start with full health, I would have been dead. That cow
Fantastic.
did a lot of damage to me.
So, ending the combat session there, we will return with whatever Nevos and Brun were up to during all of this. Let's take 10, 15. Let's go with a 10-minute break. And we will return at 9:15.
Copy. Thank you, Ted.
We'll see how this goes for the rest of the session, but Evan is a huge crybaby.
I got a lot on my plate, man.
Evan, do you want to say hi to Evan?
Yeah, the meaning of minds. I was saying earlier, I found the timeline very suspicious. I had started playing in your game. Well, it was like a year ago today, or something close to that. Which happens to be right before the pregnancy. Where did you get Evan from?
Kylie picked it, or at least she pitched it, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds pretty good." And she's like, "Do you know any Evans?" And I was like, "Not any important ones."
No,
I'm just kidding.
no one. Couldn't think of
she,
one.
No, she had
It is a
picked it.
pretty
She
name.
picked Evan, and I think like, "Hey, buddy." Picked Evan, and I think like Eric or something, and like Eric's a crappy name, so we went with
It's
Evan.
pretty common.
Right.
I actually got my name as a shortened form of Evangelical, which is the name of a hospital that I was not born at. But Cole was born at Evangelical, and our younger brother Caden was also born at Evangelical. I was born at Danville Community Hospital. But my mom thought it was just such a pretty name for a person that I became Evan. My original name was supposed to be Jacob, but my mom has a cousin named Jacob, and they wouldn't allow it.
I really like that actually. Is it Evangelical in Williamsport?
Yes, I went up in Lewisburg.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool. Nice. Or in Lewisburg. Yeah, that's the hospital near me.
Yep. That's where
Okay.
Cole and Caden were both born, but I was not. They said it was a name that they liked. I think they got Cole from one of the Richard Simmons workout videos. One of like the guys was named Cole. Is that they're just like, oh,
Really?
that's Cole sounds great. Yeah, that's where Cole got
Okay,
his
your
name.
source is a lot better. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself for a little bit. Because he is. Is it
He's
really
fucking-
loud on your end?
No, I
You,
hardly hear him at all.
Okay, that's good, because he is freaking out.
Hey, he was just born yesterday or a couple of days ago. How long has it's been like a? We on day
4
3 or
days.
something now? 4 days?
Day 4, yeah.
Nah, the first
Yep.
week's always the hardest. I'm sure.
Yeah,
you're a
well,
kid.
so our first was super difficult for like a year. And this one is, knock on wood, already kind of more behaved, I guess, or at least like less difficult. And he was at like 8 months. So it's been good. We have
Yeah,
high
that's how my
hopes.
mom always described it. Anyway, she has 5 boys. It just gets
You have 4 brothers?
easier. I actually have 5 brothers, but my mom only gave birth to 5 of us.
Gotcha.
One of my brothers is adopted, but I have
that's a lot
5
of
brothers. There's 6 of us in total.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm surprised Cole never even said anything about that either.
No, he never mentioned it. So my mom was the youngest of 17. I think they had 8 boys and 9 girls. It was
No,
pretty
we were all
even.
boys. All boys.
Yeah. It's wild. Your poor mother.
Ugh. That's what she likes to claim, but I think we were really good children. I don't know what. We all graduated high school, went to college. I don't know what she wants.
Yeah. Buddy.
Also, I didn't get to say it, Andrew, but congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was a lot of hard work on my part.
Mm-hmm.
Having to carry it to term and
The
everything.
hard work starts now. You know?
There's about 9 months of catching up to do, and then it becomes a 50-50
And then
split.
another 17
Yeah.
years.
and then 18 years.
Yeah. But no, it's been good.
Possibly more. Who knows what the
Yeah,
future
that's
looks
true.
like.
And in this day and age, yeah.
Stay home till they're 30. So I don't know much of a training regimen Thane really wanted, but I have a whole like early morning, lunch.
You got a couch to 5K
evening.
kind of plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. Like this is what I would
no.
do with new recruits. We could go over it, and you could just pick out the parts that Thane would, because I don't think Thane really needs worship devotional time. But that appears several times.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the regimented stuff Thane would already be accustomed to. And maybe they had fallen off of it when they started traveling. So this might be more of a return to form for like the life that they knew. So I think that would be really good.
Yeah, so like a lot of this is also, besides just being trained as soldiers, paladins are also, at least in the Velos, the Vidarians faith, they get trained in a lot of history stuff, a lot of medicine stuff, if that's the kind of branch that they're in, or if they're in a more specialized branch for something else, they'll get that specialized training as well as part of their daily training as well. A lot of prayers. We do sing a lot of battle songs. And anointing. I don't know if you guys anoint your armor, but we sure do.
Our armor is all mass produced. It looks
Oh.
the same. There's nothing special
Ours,
about it.
ours is specially fitted for the paladin, and that's the only armor they get their entire lives. It'll be edited as they go up in rank, as more like if they're part of the feathers, they'll get more feathers on their sigils and things like that on their uniforms. If they're more fists, they'll get different types of gauntlets as they specialize.
Yeah, for the Celestial Collective, there's just Thanes, which are basically squires, and then knights. But there's not really a way to tell them apart. You just kind of know. in the way
Well, they would know.
act.
Like we know, but nobody
Yeah.
else does.
Right.
Yeah, our order runs on ours is sigil based to determine our factions, and there are 2 major factions: the fists, and then there's the feathers. Each of them kind of operating in different forms and functions. And even amongst those 2 large factions, there are splinter factions that have different sigils and like the iron feathers or the leather gauntlets.
You have
Fists.
all of this written up.
Yeah, through various things with me and Alexis.
If Alexis is cool with it, I mean, I would like to. I think Thane's interested in learning about the ideology and seeing like what they can fit into what they already believe, and like, the stuff that maybe they
I
would
think
see
you'd be
as happening.
surprised how much overlap there will be between what Thane believes and what the Vidarians believe, because they're not like religious. They're not about. I mean, they spread their religion, but they're not about spreading the religion. They're just about spreading the good vibes
Right.
to all the lands. And they don't really pray. Like, they don't have churches really. They pray through acts of service. That's how they pray. Like, oh, I'm helping somebody do this, showing my gratitude to Vidar.
Welcome back, friends.
Hello.
Hello.
Glad to see everyone made it back safely. Freaking-tastic.
Missing an arm, but okay, a hand.
I'm talking about you, the player, not you, the character.
Honestly, I feel like I should just take the plunge and buy a prosthetic fake hand that is just a stump. Or a whole hand, and then I just cut the hand off of it.
That is a choice you'll have to make for yourself. I appreciate the dedication and commitment. So, we return to the beach episode. Brun and Navos, you witnessed Duncan strip down to his skivvies and go sit in the stream for a while. Thane think about such things, reconsider, and then eventually make their way as well. What all are you two doing in this time? What's your downtime activity? What are you up to? Curtis heard none of that.
Correct.
Wait a minute.
I'll head over to Brun. There is something I'd like to do in this time, but I wanted to see, did you have anything you'd like to show me today?
Brun kind of like still like in this pose as the other chaps are getting unconscionably soaked. Are you feeling like getting beat up today, or?
I mean, I kind of got lucky. I did not get hit, but I know you got gashed pretty bad. I'm completely fine if you would like to watch them for now.
Well, you said you've traveled with a couple of groups, right?
Once in a while. It's more of a quick stop.
Okay. Well, here, and Bryn kind of sits up and pats the log that he's kind of leaned against. Here, have a seat. This might be a minute.
Yeah, I'll sit down next to you.
And Brun sort of reaches in and pulls out the 7 silver that he pocketed from the rider that you saw the 7 silver and like it's pulled out. And he goes, so this money you found. What do you do with it? What do you think should be done with it?
It's an odd number, can't really deal it out safely between all of us, but I would like to spread it between us if possible.
Between everybody?
Yes, including Farney as well.
It's 5. Yeah, it's not really a good split.
I mean, I'm not one for money anyway, so...
Would you give up your cut?
I would. I am not one... For the travels I've been on, I'm not one to take from those that Even if they cannot use it, it doesn't feel right to me, but I am not one to stop others.
Why? You saw me give the clothes to Thane. We got 2 extra sets of rations in here.
I have seen what others have lost, and I don't believe it becomes my gathering. I mean, I know I joked about eating trash, but some of it is true. And these groups I have been with, they are the ones that have fed me when they see me in the alley.
Brun kind of sits up and is sort of, you notice that like this whole time he's just kind of been flexing his hand like it hurts, like there's something bothering him, like there's a muscle, there's a tension to it. He's just kind of been working it. I can see that desire. I can see that understanding. But there is nothing these objects can do for their owners when their owners are gone. This coin, those clothes, the saddlebags themselves do no good to anyone.
I believe it's how you use it. I have
That's
no
fair.
ill will with any of you using it. Maybe I'll come to terms, but I pull the Death Bloom packet out. This means more to me than anything in quite some time. I would like us all to group up for a dinner one of these nights. But there are seeds that need to be spread out. Maybe the use of this Riders packages will help us in the future. Maybe it is something that on the beyond they can look back and be thankful.
Look back from where? Where do you see that rider looking back on us from? What's in your afterlife?
Well, my afterlife has been given up. But I think theirs belongs to whatever they thought it could be. At least I wish it has been.
So you think they will look down or over or under and see us with their possessions? And you think they will want us to do good with those possessions? And don't think we're moving past the you've given up your afterlife. Because that has many implications.
I hope that whatever travels we go on, whoever takes the silver, if it is taken from us after we pass, that they wish the best for anyone as we all continue moving.
These silver, these coins, and Brun will hold them out in his palm to you, are yours to do with. And whatever you choose to do with them is up to you. You could divvy them to each of us to do whatever we wish to do with them. And spread those good or ill. I can see Thane doing a similar thing, evenly distributing it. Thane would probably find a money changer and make sure that it is truly an equivalent exchange. And if they couldn't make the rounding work, they would do what you did and give up your share. Duncan would give most of it to a charity, but keep enough to cover what we need, either personally or as a group. Because Duncan understands that we cannot help others if we cannot help ourselves. Something Thane's probably going to learn sooner or later. And I'm imagining this is around that point where, like, we just look over and Duncan's, like, starting the swing. It's like...
A swing.
Yeah, the practice swing. Each of them finding their own ways to do whatever is good. And I'm curious what you will do with these. They're yours. No one will fault you for spending it on a meal for yourself. No one will fault you for no one will fault you. The coin is yours.
I will take them. I'll grab 2 as you leave your palm out. What do you think is best? What would you use them for?
I would give them to Duncan. I would take and sort of picks one off, puts it in a pocket. And I would tell Duncan, we found these coins, these 4 coins. For use on our journey. In the business, folks call that a finder's fee.
You'll see me put the 2 coins back into my palm, and I will take just 1. He'll have these 5 coins. I was going to give them to you, but you took what you wanted.
Why give them to me?
Trying to share out as much as possible. I mean, I do have a good amount, it's just hard to use at some points. I just wanted to hear what you think would be best.
You have it. You have an interesting approach to things, Nemos.
That's what I've heard.
Brun will hold out the coins. Just one last. You sure you don't want? You can take that back. But not saying it, just in the gesture and the expression.
Put the coins in my right hand, holding them for later. I'll wrap your palm up with my left.
The palm feels different in the last 2 days since you read Brun's palm. There's something about the skin feels rougher.
Is it still shaking?
There's when you like put your hand on it, the fingers stop flexing, and just like the palm finally rests open, and as you sort of run your hand across it, it feels almost like sandpapery kind of rough, like a really hard stubble.
Are you feeling okay?
Kahlo is not going to be a good time, to put it mildly. And trying to make sure there are other avenues. Duncan gets 5 coins, but we still have 1 apiece for when we need it. And I'm trying to make sure I have appropriate coinage.
Please don't hesitate to ask if you need more or anything you want to lay off. We need to be as right-minded as possible. As I point to Thane, we need to watch out for that sleeping dragon. We need to make sure they are okay.
Do you think they're dangerous?
No. At least from what we've seen. But I don't think they deserve punishment if something does happen in Kahlo. If their memory comes back and whatever happened could happen. I'm afraid that there are many pages within them, and they did not do much of the writing.
We're all awfully big books here, Nevos.
Well, we have plenty of time to go through them.
All right. Come on. I got one thing I want to work on with you.
Yeah. Feeling fine, I hop up and I'll grab a hand.
Brun's like, no, and puts his hand on the log that he was leaning against, and when he pushes down, there's this creak as the log sort of shifts. And if you're feeling particularly attentive, there's a bit of an imprint left. Like you can see the outline of where the hand was as Brun pulls himself to his feet.
There's a bit of a crunch into the bark.
They just, you just creak and crunch into the tree. Now, I saw you're rolling, and it's a good start. However, rolling into and out of an open road will be less useful in a bar, crowded city street. If one of the cows had charged you, you're open in the road like that. What's something a cow's gonna have a hard time getting through? Something like that. Somebody charges you with a knife.
I was a little too antsy. I should have taken a much stronger look at what we were
Not
dealing
the
with
question I
beforehand.
asked. Something charges at you. How do you stop it? You put something between you and it. And I'm telling you, I could be that something. Now, if you're trying to get behind me, don't sort of square off. Somebody's coming at you like this, right? Knife, sword, weird tentacles, maybe another cow. Put me between you and them. And Brun will turn, sort of looking over his shoulder. You going left or you going right?
Left.
Okay. Pretend he's charging at you. Just say, now, help, let out a girly scream, whatever you're feeling. That'll let me know, and we'll swap places. Don't scream too loud. It'll upset somebody. And Brun will sort of turn his back and wait.
Now,
and with the arm swings out, the right arm swings as the whole body turns, and you find yourself sort of in the spot where Brun was standing, just like a revolving door, just. And Brun is now facing the opposite direction, arms out low. This feels like a maneuver that Brun has done several times. You get it? You kind of get what we're doing?
You can see the eye kind of like moving around a bit. Yes, that was quicker than I thought, but I see.
Most of the time, slow just means you're dead. Quick will keep you alive long enough to figure out something else to do. Again?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Still going left? Ready on you?
Yes. And I would like to... I'd like to see if I can try to pick out something on a tree. And will
Car.
fire after this maneuver. See if I can keep up with the pace.
That hungry pressure behind your eye seems like it's waiting.
Now.
And again, arm swings out. This time it kind of picks you up a little bit to like just sort of scoops up under the arm and spins and plants you in that position. And Brun is lower in sort of a wrestler's stance. And that's blocking you a little bit better in that kind of crouch and giving you have a little more of an eye line above him.
What'd you roll?
Nat 20.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah! Let's go.
Oh, man.
Just for funsies, roll me damage.
Yeah.
Don't forget to double the dice.
12.
The tree you marked out, pretty much straight shot. And although you can feel your brain kind of scrambled a little bit again as you were swiftly moved behind Brun, the shot goes perfectly. And looking at the tree where this gap is now in the trunk, you hear it start to crack. And then it falls into the stream next to you.
When it starts
Splash.
to... Brun didn't hear the shot. But as it starts to come down with that creaking, would like to actually more actively use the bait and switch maneuver that we've been kind of practicing. And it is... Navos, you that arm comes back and just pins you to Brun's back and is just fully sort of up in front. And you feel about 7 armor class points more protected. Hypothetically speaking, if there was such a way to quantify such a thing. You definitely a strong feeling that the angle is right for a kid of Mahir's size. And this is not... Uncles don't do this with their kids. Something's fucky. Okay,
My
and
muscles
then
are just bulging.
But like the tree comes down, and Brun kind of looks around and then like releases and sort of steps back.
Well, that was a first. How was it?
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Now,
God dang it.
can I ask a possibly improper question?
Of course.
You spend a lot of time writing in that journal. Is that your sleeping dragon? Or just getting the thoughts out?
It is the moments where the dragon wakes for just a moment.
Do you think Duncan has a dragon?
Everyone has some type, as well as their own seeds, if I could say. It just depends on what happens once it is
Awake.
oh, correct.
Around this point, Farney has been doing a lot of the kind of camp making things. Food's been cooking, that sort of deal. They generally tend to keep to themselves in the day that you've known them. That's pretty consistent. And around now, you hear a if you're quite finished with all of that, calling to all of you. Food is ready. Could be a good time to join me at the fire.
Yeah, I'm, ready for a meal.
Brun will stand
They
up.
have-
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Brun will stand up and just walk back over to his pack before joining the group.
They have created kind of a spiced, very basic stew, curry kind of type deal. Some tubers in there, some dried meats that have soaked up some of the heavily seasoned broth. Very, very hearty, very, very good for travel. These were dried portions of the rations for the day that they've combined into a lovely little hearty meal. Some crusty bread off to the side, sort of a hardtack type thing. The travel between Alrith and Kahlo isn't intended to be very long, so the rations you were given, they wouldn't hold out for much longer travel, but that means you get to enjoy things just a bit more on this journey. Is there anything anyone would like to do? gathered around the campfire, or shall we move into the night watch and roll that so we can start there next week?
As I join the group, I'd like to just throw a hand on Duncan's shoulder.
What's up? I'm
Brun-
kind of like shocked that I still just stabbed Thane.
Brother Knight, we found this silver, and I'll hand it off to you.
Where? Here at the camp?
No, the horse's satchel.
Oh.
I thought it would be best for you to have it. Dole it out where you think would be best.
All right. Thank you. And I'll kind of take this satchel. How much silver is that?
5.
What's silver? Yeah, absolutely. I'll make sure this gets seen to some good use.
Thank you. And I'll take a seat down.
Derek, did you want to do your campfire thing tonight, or do you want to save that for tomorrow night?
I want to save it for tomorrow.
Okay. Anyone else before we go into watch?
Thane's just going to finish the day by pulling out the piece of wood they've been whittling, and they're just going to work on that. And they're very clearly sore from the events of the day.
Thane, as you pull out the piece of wood you were working on, you realize that it has been carved beyond where you last remembered. That was not something you had dredged up in your search of your lost memories, but it is right there in your hands, changed. Sort of in the direction you've been intending, but it's very vague, general adjustments.
Does it seem worse than the quality that I've been putting to it the last couple attempts, or is it kind of right on par?
It seems like an approximation of your work, if that makes sense. It's not the amount of effort you've been putting in intentionally. This is somebody taking your work and trying to give the motions that go along with it, but not really understanding the direction.
We will log that in the journal.
Consider it done. So, Farney will dish out some portions for everybody. Right, so our watch for tonight. What order are we choosing? Do we want to stick with what we did before with Navos and Thane, then myself, Brun, and then Duncan, or do we want to change things up? I'm fine with wherever in the order.
I'll take first. Since I slept through yesterday's, I want to.
You slept
Not-
through yesterday's.
And then I'll immediately give a dirty look right at Farney, because he also slept through his watch as well, and he has no room to talk.
So, you don't know that. You know that you woke up to see Farney and Brun asleep, like everyone else.
Same shift as
Brun was the only one before you. Farney did sleep through theirs, but you don't know that.
Fair. Farney also didn't wake up Brun, so.
Well, that
Maybe they did, and Brun fell asleep.
Or Brun fell back asleep after
yeah,
he got woken up.
5 more minutes, Mom.
You don't know.
I hit snooze on the wood elf.
You knocked them out. Okay, so we've got Brun, then whom?
So we don't mind
If possible,
doing...
Duncan's still going to take the last watch.
We were just
Second
looking for
thing.
our shift. We don't know if we can double up with anybody, but given the events of the last day, we're not sure that we are always ourselves.
Then I would gladly watch with you again, if you would like. If you need a moment, that's fine, but
I have a feeling Duncan's gonna have you up earlier than the rest of us. Just as
That's okay. That's something we're used to. Yeah, I think Nabos, that would be a good idea. I think there's a lot that we can talk about while we're up.
Again. There's that word again, as if it's already happened.
Well, we
All right,
think it would be nice while we're up if you could do a palm reading for us. Not even for the future, but just for the recent past.
of course. Yes, I mean, we've done the tarot, so we can do the palm reading next.
We've never done. Maybe you're mixing us up with someone else. But no, we've never done anything like that with you. We wanted to, just haven't had the chance.
Yes, no problem. We can get to that.
So everyone please make for me a perception check. Thane or Navos, you guys can do somebody with advantage, or we can average.
Derek, how is your perception? Mine's not great.
I have a plus
Hey,
2.
now. That's meta.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Oh, my bad.
Thane is
Slightly better than average.
You can do it. We'll give you advantage.
16.
Okay, Brun.
4.
I was so hoping for another nat one.
It was a natural
Duncan?
3.
I got a 13 plus 4.
You expect me to do math in this our month of Pride?
17. Just our most holiest of months.
Okie dokie. Let me just check that real quick. Yeah. Okay. So, that seems like a good place to leave off for the evening, with Brun on watch while everyone else drifts off to sleep. Any last anythings from anybody?
Nothing I think of.
I have a super short thing. As Brun's sort of settling in, Navos, when you go back to your pack, back to your gear, it looks a little disheveled. And as you flip open one of the bags, sitting right at the top are the 2 other rations that we pulled out of the saddlebags. And there's just a really scrawled note. Maybe try these instead of the trash next time.
Look at these boys! Anyone else? All right, well, barring that, Brun, you are on watch.
Nothing bad will happen.
Seems like
before.
a good place to end for the evening. So thank you all so much for joining me. Andrew, I'm glad you could actually be here, at least in part. Thank you for the dramatic reveal.
Yeah,
That's all good.
Doesn't burst into consciousness.
So I would like to grant a star for Andrew for simply just taking everything that I've thrown at him and running. That was great. We had very little conversation about what has happened to Thane between last week and now. And Andrew, you've really taken that in stride. And I'm glad. Hopefully it feels like it's worked out.
Method acting. Neither the player nor the character had any idea what was happening.
Real method.
No, it was good. I was able to listen to the last game, to some of it at least, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Although I had major fear of missing out the whole time I was listening to it.
If I cultivate the FOMO, nobody will leave.
That's true.
All right. Well, same time next week, friends. 7 p.m. on Monday. Curtis, I'm also glad that you were able to make it, even though you had many travels.
So many travels.
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, I should still be good for next week. Hopefully, the apartment that we toured today says yes, and then we'll figure there might be a Monday where I'm on my phone or whatever, but we should be. Hopefully, I can time out the move so that doesn't interfere.
We will find out.